Welcome back to the show. If there's anything to take from Ted Lasso earning a record number of Emmy noms this year, it's that people are hungry for kind, heartfelt comedy that soothes the heart and spirit. Well, that's not me, fart knockers. That's why I'm bringing you our new segment, Shit Your Pants, America. It's 411 days till the midterms. Whew, I know it's early, but even this far out, Republicans are already busy getting out the vote. Or more accurately, shoving the vote in the attic, locking the door, and leaving it to have an incestuous relationship with its vote brother. Right now, Democrats control the Senate by the thinnest of margins, and naturally, Republicans want to take it back. But as they fight to make gains, they'll also have to defend 20 seats of their own. So far, 5 Republican senators have announced they are retiring, and to honor their service, they'll each get a commemorative watch that, just like them, stopped working at the time of the Capitol insurrection. Of particular interest is the Senate seat that Ohio Senator Rob Portman, a relative moderate, leaves behind. Most of the Republican candidates desperate to replace him are much further to the right. And folks, they all suck. But we just want to talk about one, the one that sucks hardest.
His name is James David Vance. You probably know him as JD Vance, and you've probably heard of his book, which was made into an equally crappy Punch the Pores movie, Hillbilly Elegy. Come on, Ron Howard, you're better than that. Last week, he joined 6 other Ohioans kissing the ring of the serial sexual harasser with the hope of winning the Republican nomination for the United States Senate.
Congratulations, JD. Why are you doing this?
He's got to keep busy while he finishes the Hillbilly Trailbilogy, Hillbilly Elegy, Hillbilly Effigy, and Hillbilly Eulogy Dream Warriors. If you're not familiar with JD Vance, just know he's a Barney Rubble-shaped buffoon who subscribes to pull yourself up by your bootstraps conservatism. In Hillbilly Elegy, Vance argued that the reason poor Americans are poor is because of their choices. He also called workers lazy for taking long bathroom breaks at work and criticized people who accepted food stamps while spending their money on cell phones. Buddy, cell phones are basically a necessity. Having a cell phone stopped being a status symbol ages ago when it was replaced by a much bigger status symbol, not having a cell phone. In addition to looking like he is his own boss baby, Vance also likes to call himself a nationalist who's worried about America's low fertility rates. His obsession with birth rates is a racist dog whistle, and also, it's just weird.
For maybe the first extended period in our country's history, we are not even having enough children in this country to replace ourselves. Consider all of the next gen of the Democrat Party. Not a single one of them has any children. And why is that? Why have we let the Democrat Party become controlled by people who don't have children? Many of the most unhappy and most miserable and most angry people in our media are childless adults.
Is this guy in the pocket of big children? Or is he in the pocket of big children? Think about it. The Senate isn't all we have to worry about next year. The midterms will also be huge at the state level, with 36 states voting for governor. Among those candidates is Georgia's Brian Kemp, who kicked off his re-election campaign back in July. Kemp announced that he was running scared and hard, which sounds less like an election and more like middle school gym.
This week, we should be celebrating baseball. Instead, Stacey Abrams and the liberal mob forced the All-Star game to move. Here's my commitment. Secure, accessible, and fair elections will always remain the foundation of who we are as a state. And I'm not backing down from this fight. Let's go Braves.
It's rare you see someone go out of their way to demonstrate lil dick energy. This ad is, of course, a lie. Georgia's election law disenfranchises black voters, and Stacey Abrams actually urged the MLB not to move the game ahead of its decision and has instead called for companies to stay in Georgia and fight the restrictions rather than boycott the state. Though Abrams does support boycotting Mr. Met, at least until he tells us if his entire body is made of baseball leather. Kemp is currently groveling to the Trump supporters he lost in 2020 when he refused to overturn Georgia's results in the presidential election. And from the sound of it, he has his work cut out for him.
A round of boos, drowning out a smattering of applause when Governor Kemp took the stage. This went on for at least 30 seconds. It shows the divide among moderate and far-right conservatives after Georgia's tumultuous presidential election.
Kemp somehow got even more boos than the next speaker, a KN95 mask who believes school lunch should be free. Yeah, that mask is a Republican. Check your assumptions. But the most concerning thing about the 2022 midterms is that we already have a pretty clear picture of the GOP's strategy, especially after last week's California recall election.
The Republican-led effort costing California taxpayers nearly $300 million, but its lasting legacy may be the allegations of fraud before a single vote was counted.
I have a electelder.com so that anybody, whether they're Democrats, Independents, or Republicans, if there's anything you see or hear that's suspicious, let us know and we'll investigate it.
There has been no evidence of widespread voter fraud, but that hasn't stopped Republicans from making Stop the Steal a key campaign issue.
Our election integrity is wrecked.
It's Adam Laxalt raising fears of voter fraud and talking about preemptively mounting a legal challenge more than 14 months before the 2022 midterm elections.
If I come out of this election as anything other than the victor, of course, we are going to have a full audit.
To be fair, I said the same thing in my audition tape for Too Hot to Handle. I would be amazing at it. I could go to a deserted island and not have sex for months of my life. Questioning the results of an election before it even happens may sound insane, but Trump set the stage for this. 66% of Republicans still believe that Joe Biden was illegitimately elected. And if Stop the Steal becomes the rallying cry for every election, we are Hey, I get it. No one wants to think about the midterms, but there is no way in hell I'm just going to sit back and watch Republicans undermine democracy as a political strategy. We have to stop the steal before it starts, which is why our show is taking the critical first step, securing this domain name. Visit stopthesteal.info to start confusing Google's search algorithm and steer Republican voters in the wrong direction. There are also resources on how you can help ensure free and fair elections over the next 411 days and beyond. God help us all. We'll be right back. Aw, thanks for watching. If you'd like to hear more from Full Frontal, hit subscribe and visit our page for more videos. Or if you'd like to be radicalized, leave YouTube on autoplay.